I'm going to show you how you can preserve your food by retaining 97% of its nutrients. Welcome back to our channel, The Purpose-Driven Homestead. I'm Amanda, and today we are talking all things freeze dryer. Let's start off by saying that this is a perfect appliance if you're trying to preserve your garden or any other kind of meals for long-term storage, or if you're simply trying to put your food up from your garden. This is a great way of being able to do it without having to do all of the canning and all of the dehydrating. Canning and dehydrating is a great way of preserving food. However, it's going to lose a lot of the nutrients when you're doing all of the processing. With freeze drying, you're actually retaining 97% of most of the foods that you're going to put into this freeze dryer. Okay, so how does it work? Let's talk about the science behind it. So there are 2 steps to the freeze drying process. You're going to have your freezing, and then you're going to have your drying. The freezing is just that. It's going to take this tray that you have that comes with the freeze dryer, and it's going to basically act as a freezer that you would just fill up the tray and put it into the freezer. It's going to just freeze the food. The second process to this is drying. The drying process is actually using sublimation. It's going to take that frozen food as a solid and skip the liquid phase and go right directly into the gas phase, leaving you with a light, crispy, airy kind of feel to your food. This food can be rehydrated by simply taking your hot tea kettle full of water and pouring it right directly into your Mylar bag or into a glass jar, whatever you're storing it into, letting it sit for a little bit, and then it'll be ready for consumption. One thing to note about the freeze dryer is it comes in 3 different sizes. It comes in small, medium, and large. The small and medium actually plug up directly up to the wall socket that you have currently. The large one will actually need to have its own 20 amp breaker. It needs that 20 amp breaker because it takes a lot more energy for the large one than the small. Let's talk a little bit about how it works and what you would want to freeze dry. So here we have a large tray. This goes along with the large freeze dryer what we have in our home. And what you would do is just go ahead and harvest your fruits and vegetables from your garden, cut them up, and go ahead and put them on your sheet. If you're putting anything sticky on them, like bananas or any kind of berries or anything, you probably want to either get the silicone mat from Harvest Right, or you can simply just cut a piece of parchment paper and lay that down just to make sure that the cleaning process is a lot easier. If you're doing something that has like a wax coating on it, sort of like an apple, you want to make sure that they're sliced up so that all of that moisture can be sucked out with the vacuum pump. I figured I'd go ahead and take you along with us as we load up our trays for our freeze dryer. We found some bananas and strawberries on sale. I think the strawberries were $1.99, and then we also picked up some mangoes to go ahead and fill up our trays. When you're loading up your trays, you want to make sure that it's in a single layer and they're not touching. That way you can get as much of the moisture out of each piece as possible. It's important that all of your pieces are around the same size. That way your freeze dryer will be able to dry your fruit consistently. We're peeling off all of our skin on our mangoes, and then we're slicing them up just like we did with bananas and lining our trays. Next up, we have our strawberries, and I'm taking the tops off and slicing them up as well. We're putting a piece of parchment paper right down on our trays. That way all of the sugars, once they're dry, onto the tray. The strawberries are easy to pull off rather than having them stick there. Be sure to get your children involved in this. They absolutely love to line the trays. We talk about colors and shapes and all of that while we're doing this together. And there you have it. That's all of the fruit that we're going to go ahead and stick into the freeze dryer. You have 2 options when you're trying to load up your freeze dryer. You can either load it up just like this right from the cut. It will take a little bit longer in your freeze session just because it takes a little bit longer to freeze those fruits. Or you can purchase the tops to these trays and you can go ahead and stack them in your freezer and make sure that they're frozen solid prior to putting them into your freeze dryer. It's really up to you. Obviously, if you're doing it the first way, it's going to consume a little bit more energy than it would if you were just going to make sure that it's nice and frozen before you put it in here. Okay, here is a look after opening up that door, and the cycle is complete. Everything is nice and crispy, and as you can see, all of the moisture has been removed from each of these pieces of fruit. These make incredible snacks right out of the freeze dryer. Normally, it doesn't even make it to our glass jar or our Mylar bags because our children enjoy them so much. Here, we're breaking a mango in half just to show you the texture on the inside, how it's nice and airy. You can also do meals with this too. We just freeze dried some chili and some mashed potatoes, and they worked perfectly. And all we need to do is just go ahead and open up the bag, pour in some hot water, and then there we go. We have a convenience meal for those busy days when we're working in the garden or anything else like that.
Make sure you're using this for your leftovers as well. We had quite a bit of chili left over in a crock pot meal, so we went ahead and freeze dried that. This is what it looks like when it came out. Like I said, it has meat and everything else in this so that it's nice and ready to go. You can just pour the water over it. Here are our mashed potatoes, and just like the chili, we can go ahead and add all of the ingredients in it that you would put into mashed potatoes. So we put milk and butter and cheese in this, and it is perfectly shelf stable when it goes through the freeze dryer. If you are dehydrating potatoes, you definitely want to make sure that you're only doing potatoes and not other ingredients, because it will go rancid. But with the freeze dryer, we can definitely go ahead and do that.
You can also freeze dry meat too. This is a really great way if you're trying to put away meat into your long-term storage, or if you're simply wanting that convenience meal to just go ahead and pour in some freeze-dried chicken and make a meal. You can obviously go ahead and can all of that, and you can also dehydrate your smoked meat. There's lots of different ways that you can preserve them, but freeze drying is just such a great option. You can just tear open the bag and pour it into whatever meal you're making. This means for those leftovers that you have, you can just go ahead and pour them right onto your tray and run a cycle through your freeze dryer. If you ever go into like a place like REI, or even Walmart has these MREs that are meals ready to go for whenever you need it. If you're going camping, or if you just simply need a quick, easy meal to make, this is exactly what this does. As I mentioned earlier, we have a large freeze dryer, which means that we need to make sure that it's on a 20 amp breaker. Now, we actually thought when we purchased this that we had an extra 20 amp breaker. However, we didn't. And so we set up a temporary solution to it. This is actually in our laundry room. We have this set up. So anytime I have the freeze dryer going, I can't do any kind of washing machine wash, and vice versa. If I'm doing a load of laundry, I can't run this. So, and that's just a temporary solution until we have an actual spot and a permanent area where we can go ahead and run that with a 20 amp breaker by itself. I'm going to go ahead and switch around the camera so you can see the inside of this. To start off, there's a screen here at the top right hand corner of the freeze dryer, and it's very self-explanatory, but you can go ahead and slide in your trays and hit start. We keep our plastic on all of our appliances just to keep them nice for as long as we possibly can, so ignore that. But here, this is the door. It's very thick plastic. As you open it, this seal actually comes off, and you'll want to go ahead and clean that each time you use it because there's dust that can collect and stuff. You want to go ahead and clean this with just hot water and vinegar. This whole unit comes in and out, so you can clean this just the same exact way. And this will be where all of the trays slide into. Here we have the inside of the freeze dryer. This can be cleaned the same way, but this will go ahead and collect all of the water into a form of ice. And then later on after the cycle, it will melt off. But so that's the inside of it. There's a handle right here that has the lock, and you just open and close it whenever the cycles are ready to be started and when they are ended. On the back side of the freeze dryer, we have our vacuum pump. Now this operates off of oil, and the oil needs to be changed out. So we just simply have some extras just to make sure that we're able to change it out. You'll also have a hose that comes out of the side and along down. And when the cycle is done and you're trying to thaw out the machine, all of the water will go into this, and you'll put a bucket here so that it can go ahead and collect all of the water. Now you can see we actually just took out a cycle, and that's filled with water. It's amazing how much water comes out of a cycle. But you'll go ahead and dump that out, and this is the valve. So whenever you start up a new one, you'll go ahead and close this. But right now it's open because we just drained it out. You can store all of your freeze-dried goods after you've taken it out of the freeze dryer. First off, you want to make sure that you're taking one tray out at a time. Because the air has moisture in it, it can come back into the freeze-dried goods. So you want to make sure that you're working quickly. And also, your hands have bacteria on them. So I always take a spatula that's nice and clean, and I scoop everything off of the sheet so that I'm not touching all of the stuff that I'm trying to go ahead and preserve. The first way you can go ahead and store all of your food is through a ball can. So we put our carrots here from our garden. We also have some squash, and we have some zucchini from this year's garden. We slice everything up, freeze-dried it, and then we put it into our jars. We also have an oxygen absorber in here, and then we vacuum sealed our jars. We can use an oxygen absorber in here because we freeze-dried it and there's no moisture in it. And like I said, we went ahead and vacuum sealed this jar so that it's nice and secure, and this will last on our shelf for quite some time. Now, this is more for our kind of short-term pantry, working pantry way of preserving this food. For long-term storage, or if you just simply want to use the Mylar bags over the bulk can jars, you can use Mylar bags. So we took this chili that we freeze-dried and we went ahead and put into our Mylar bag. We stuck an oxygen absorber, and then we have, it's really nice, these bags actually have a zipper, so we went ahead and zipped it right away. And then we took our flat iron and secured it that way. These bags are reusable. You can go ahead and cut it, or there's a little tear spot right there that you can go ahead and open up this bag and we can reuse this later on. Thank you so much for stopping by today. If you're interested in the Harbor Strike freeze dryer, go ahead and click the link below. Full disclosure, that is an affiliate link. We would ask that you would please consider using our link just to support our family and our mission to help other people become more self-sufficient on their backyard homestead. Also, if you're interested in preserving some meat, go ahead and click on this video here. This will walk you through step-by-step to canning pork. As for now, guys, have a blessed day.